New Jersey, the 19th of July, 2026. The World Cup final has just ended and Spain has beaten Argentina to become world champions for the second time in the nation's history. Confetti falls over MetLife Stadium. Players collapse into each other's arms. And in the stands, a young woman in a red jersey is on her feet, screaming, filming, crying the way only someone who loves the player on the pitch really can. Her name is Inés Garcia. His name is Lamine Yamal. And in a summer defined by penalty kicks, extra time, and a teenager becoming a household name, one of the quieter storylines has become one of the most talked about. The very public, very sweet relationship between the world's most exciting young footballer and the influencer who's been by his side through it all. This is their story, as much of it as the two of them have chosen to share. Before he was trending on every football forum on the planet, Lamine Yamal was just a kid from a working-class neighborhood outside Barcelona. Born on the 13th of July 2007 to parents of Moroccan and Equatorial Guinean heritage, he was scouted by FC Barcelona's famed youth academy, La Masia. At just 7 years old, the same pipeline that once produced Lionel Messi. By 15, he was making his first team debut, becoming one of the youngest players in the club's history to do so. Since then, his rise has been almost cinematic. A La Liga title with Barcelona, a European Championship win with the Spanish national team, and now at 19, a World Cup trophy. For American viewers less familiar with European football, think of La Liga as Spain's version of a major national league and the World Cup as football's biggest global stage, the one every player dreams of reaching. Inés García Santos, meanwhile, built her name in a very different arena. Believed to be around 20 years old and based in Spain, she's a fashion and beauty content creator who has steadily built a following by sharing her personal style, beauty routines, and day-to-day life online. She's signed with a modeling agency and has worked with recognizable international brands in the beauty and fashion space. Long before her name was linked to Yamal's, she had already carved out her own identity, polished, confident, and entirely her own. Two young people, both rising in their respective worlds, about to have those worlds collide. Naturally, when a story this compelling starts to unfold in public, speculation fills in the gaps. Rumors swirled online that the two had met in dramatic, almost cinematic circumstances. One popular theory claimed Yamal had swooped in to help Garcia when her card was declined at a store. It's the kind of story that spreads fast because it sounds like something out of a movie, but according to Garcia herself, the truth was far less theatrical. Speaking directly to her followers, she put the rumors to rest, explaining simply that the two had connected through social media. There was no dramatic meet-cute, she said, just an online connection that developed naturally over time. She's also suggested that she and Yamal had known each other for longer than most people realized, well before the public ever caught on. The exact timeline of their friendship before it became a relationship hasn't been detailed, and out of respect for their privacy, that part of the story remains mostly their own. What is clear is the context surrounding the relationship's emergence. Yamal had previously been in a widely covered relationship with Argentine singer Nicki Nicole, which reportedly ended around November of 2025. It was sometime after that, according to Spanish entertainment outlets, that Yamal and Garcia's connection began to shift into something more. The first real signs came in April of 2026, when photos surfaced of the pair on a trip to Greece casual, sun-soaked images that were enough to send fans and gossip columns into speculation mode. Neither Yamal nor Garcia confirmed anything outright at the time, but the internet, as it tends to do, connected the dots quickly. The relationship became harder to deny the following month in May 2026, when the two were seen attending FC Barcelona's end-of-season celebration together, a public event in front of cameras, side by side. For a couple that had clearly been trying to keep things low-key, it was intentionally or not a soft confirmation. Then came the moment fans consider the real turning point. As Spain advanced through the summer's World Cup, Garcia began sharing photos from the stands celebrating goals, cheering from the sidelines, and posting warm, affectionate captions. After Spain's semi-final win secured their place in the final, she shared a series of images of the two embracing, writing simply, "Estás en la final, see you nice Spanish for, you're in the final, see you in New York." It was as close to an official announcement as either of them had made. Dating one of the most watched athletes on the planet comes with a particular kind of pressure, and Garcia has stepped into it in real time in front of millions. Every outfit she wears to a match gets dissected by fashion outlets, every caption gets screenshotted and translated, every appearance becomes headline material, whether she intends it to or not. For his part, Yamal has continued to let his football do most of the talking, rarely addressing his personal life directly in interviews. But the visibility of the relationship has been impossible to avoid this summer, given the scale of the tournament and the number of cameras trained on Spain's breakout star at all times. It's worth noting the two are still very young. Yamal only just turned 19, and Garcia is believed to be in her early 20s, meaning they're navigating this level of global attention earlier than almost any couple in modern football has had to. What's been notable, according to those covering the relationship, is how grounded the couple has appeared to remain. Garcia has been seen spending time not just with Yamal but with his family, including his younger brother, suggesting a relationship that extends beyond the stadium and into his everyday life. The couple's story this year has essentially unfolded alongside Spain's World Cup campaign, which gives it an unusually well-documented timeline. There was the Greece trip in April, the first real public sighting, the Barcelona club celebration in May, their first joint public appearance. Then, match after match through the summer, Garcia was a consistent presence in the stands, cheering during Spain's group stage matches, celebrating when Yamal scored his first goal of the tournament against Saudi Arabia, and sharing that emotional embrace after the semi-final victory that sent Spain to the final. The final chapter, at least of this summer's storyline, came in the days before the World Cup final itself, when Yamal was seen in New York with Garcia and members of his family ahead of Spain's history-making match against Argentina. And then on the 19th of July, the story reached its high point. Spain lifted the trophy. Yamal became a world champion at 19, and Garcia was there in the stadium to see it happen. It would be easy to reduce this relationship to its optics, the athlete and the influencer, two photogenic young people whose lives happen to generate headlines. But what struck many observers is something quieter underneath the public moments, a sense of familiarity between them that doesn't read as performative. Garcia herself has hinted that their connection predates the public attention by a significant stretch, suggesting a foundation that was built away from cameras before it was ever built in front of them. There is also the matter of timing. Yamal is in the middle of the most intense, most scrutinized stretch of his young career, and by most accounts, Garcia has functioned less like a headline and more like a steady presence, someone in the stands, someone spending time with his family, someone who seems to understand what this particular season of his life actually requires. Whether that continues to define their relationship going forward is something only time and the two of them will tell. As of this summer, Lamine Yamal is a World Cup champion, a La Liga winner, and at 19, arguably the most talked about young footballer on the planet. And by his side, through nearly every step of this extraordinary season, has been Ines Garcia, cheering from the stands, sharing the story in small, careful pieces, and quietly becoming part of one of the most closely followed relationships in sports right now. Neither of them has said much about what comes next, and that's probably exactly how they'd like to keep it, at least for now. But if this summer is any indication, the world is going to keep watching. If you enjoyed getting to know their story, hit subscribe for more real,